Hey guys, how's it going? Van the Man back with another video. In today's video, we will be looking at Photoshop and telling you guys some tips and tricks about Photoshop. I remember when I first started learning Photoshop, I was super confused and I didn't really understand how to work anything. And in today's video, we'll be working with you and try to make your experience easier on Photoshop. So, the first thing you are going to want to do in Photoshop is get your project started. So either you want some images that you're going to start with and you want to get the dimensions that you need. So you type in the dimensions that you need, or you can open a new image from your desktop. Here we have this image that we're starting off with, and I'll show you guys some examples of some important tools in Photoshop. So one important tool is selected right here. It's called the fill tool or the paint fill tool. What you can do with that is you can select your layer that you're on, which is this image, and you can change the color. So if I want to do that color, or I can change it to a blue color, so I can change the bear to any color that I want with this tool. And you just have to make sure that you're selecting on the right thing that you want to choose. So if I chose this right here, then it would make that eye red or these things red, like on the mouth. One other important tool is called the quick select tool, and what that does is you can find the edges of an image and select the edges of an image. So if I wanted to select this right here, then I could select this whole image and select it and take parts out of it or whatever I wanted to do with that. Another tip for the quick selection tool is actually if you hold Alt, then you will be able to unselect something that you selected. So if I select his ear like that, I could hold Alt and decrease the selection spot. If I was trying to select him and I accidentally went up too far, then I could delete it and make it The next important tool we have here is called the pen tool. What you can do with the pen tool is you can mark out a piece of the shape that you want and you can make a shape out of it. I'll just do a sloppy one right here just to show you guys what it does, and then you just have to connect it at the end, and there you go, and you can move this around wherever you need to or make a mask out of it. The fourth super important tool is called the eyedropper tool, and what the eyedropper does is we can select any color that we want, even off the screen that we want to select, and we'll get that color. So if I had a shade of pink right here that I really liked and I wanted to make the whole bear that color, then I could eyedrop that and it will bring it over to here, and then I can go to my paint fill tool and make the whole bear that color to match the mouth. Another super important tool that we have on Photoshop is called the blur tool, and you'll find that right here. So if I wanted to select the spot that I wanted to blur, like his eye, then I could go around it like this, and it won't be able to show it very good because it's a cartoon image, but you could see that it's slowly blurring the eye more than this eye, so that eye is now more blurred. The next very important tool that we have is the text tool, which is basically just adding a text box and typing something into the text box. You can make the text box big or small by using the move tool, and make sure that show transform controls is on, because if it's off, then you won't be able to see where to move your text box. So always make sure that show transform controls are on, and if you increase the text box, then you can make the lettering wherever you want, and then also you can change the color of the lettering by using the same tool, the fill tool, the paint bucket tool, and just adding color to that set of text. Another tool that's pretty important in Photoshop is the shape tool or the custom shape tool, and so that allows you to make any shape that you need. So if you go into custom shape and you create the shape, then you can go in here and select any of these shapes that you want to add to your image. So if I wanted to add a heart onto the bear, then I would just create a heart like that. Some other tips that you probably didn't know about are the color cube or slider selections that you can choose. So you could choose any of these that you want for your color wheel. So if you wanted to have a color wheel that looks like this, or you wanted a color wheel that looks like this, then you could do any of these and you could get the best color that you need by choosing any of these that you need and looking through them. The normal one is the hue cube that is pretty standard, but there are a lot of other ones that will get you colors that are more important for whatever you're trying to do in Photoshop. Another important tool is called the patch tool, where you can select a part of an image that you want to remove, and it will just remove it like that if you select the layer. So if I go down into layers and I select the layer that I want, which is the first layer, I can just delete it and it will take that out of the image. One shortcut that is very important in Photoshop is adding a new layer, and on a Mac all you have to do is Command Shift N and you'll create a new layer, and you can name the layer anything you want or add a color to the layer that you need, and you just hit OK. And then once you have that layer, you can go to File and then Place Embedded, and you can choose any of these files that you have and add them onto your image. So if you were trying to layer multiple things onto an image, you could take here, I just have a random image, and you just place that onto your image to layer it on. Thank you guys for watching. Those are all the tips or tricks that I have on Photoshop to help you get started with whatever you want to do on Photoshop. I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure to like and subscribe, and there should be a link right above my head to another video. Make sure to go check that out. Peace out.